Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarah. I'm a mindset mastery coach, transformational hypnotherapist, and attachment style specialist. And I'm back today with another video on the dismissive avoidant. Now, I have been really fortunate in that I have several clients who are dismissive avoidants coming to me, both men and women. And I wanted to share some insight with you all into some of the things that they've told me, because I think this is just so beneficial. And also, can we please applaud the fact that there are dismissive avoidants out there doing the work and healing and really wanting to make themselves a better, healthier partner? Drop some love in the comments below. And if you're new, please have a look around, take a look at my videos. I absolutely am so passionate about bringing this information to you all. And I'm just so grateful. And if you would like a personal session with me, I offer a 20-minute discovery call for free, and you can book that. There's a link in the discovery box, in the description box below, and you can book that with me. I think I've got some availability for next week. All right, so moving on. So the dismissive avoidant, they have all told me, all of my clients have said, Sarah, I have done everything that you've said I've done. I've deactivated inside of a relationship. I've stepped away from a relationship that was healthy. I have then felt relief, upon leaving and exiting that relationship. And moving forward, several months in the future, I started to actually feel my feelings and I started to actually miss that person. But what's really fascinating to me is just missing the person doesn't equate to reaching out. It doesn't equate to wanting to be back together. And it doesn't mean that just because they're feeling remorse and regret that they're going to do anything about it. They're like, in general, overall, a dismissive avoidant will try to move forward. And I find that so interesting, right? Because the clients that see me that maybe were leaning secure or leaning anxious or even disorganized and were with a dismissive avoidant are saying, well, they're kind of waiting in limbo for that dismissive avoidant to offer them another chance. And what I want to say to you, because I love you guys and because I'll always be honest and transparent with you guys, is that waiting for somebody to change is really putting your life on hold. I do not recommend it. In fact, I recommend moving forward. And look, I know where you stand. I'm a couple steps ahead of you. I am going through a divorce with a dismissive avoidant, and I have absolutely been discarded, and I'm like in the process of being replaced. So I understand the pain. It is enormous. It is gigantic. I understand the ruminating thoughts. I understand all of it so much deeper than you even know. And I have decided to choose myself over and over and over and over. Because this process of being discarded, and literally my clients have said, I felt like I was thrown away like a piece of garbage, because that's exactly what a discard feels like. And not even that, but blindsided. I was blindsided and discarded. And so that messes with your mind. It messes with your emotions, and it feeds on your attachment cycle. A lot of you were secure going into this relationship, found out you were in love with a dismissive avoidant, and suddenly you find yourselves leaning anxious and you're not as secure. We can get you back to more secure, but it does take time. It takes energy, it takes effort, and it takes working with the right person, whether it's me or somebody else. And I want you to understand that your dismissive avoidant partner did love you, and they did absolutely mean what they said in the moment. And that's what I think is like one of the most frustrating things. Is you say, well, if they meant forever, if they called me their soulmate and said that I was the best thing since sliced bread, how do they even have the emotional capacity or ability to just walk away? And while I can't fully answer that because I'm not a dismissive avoidant, I can tell you that they look forward. Like once they deactivate and detach, there's not a lot of looking back for the DA. They can compartmentalize like the best of them. And my husband would even say this to me, because I would say, I don't see any emotions coming from you, when I was literally moving out, when his wife was moving out of the house. And you know what he said to me? He said, Sarah, I compartmentalize. Those words exactly. The DA can compartmentalize their emotions and their life, and they can shove things down. And eventually, for most dismissive avoidants, there will be a rock bottom. Here's the thing. We don't know what that rock bottom is. You don't know what that rock bottom is. They don't know what that rock bottom is. And to kind of just stick around, wait around, and assume or hope or pray that that rock bottom happens. First of all, you don't really want to hope or pray like that somebody goes through a rock bottom, right? But then you sort of do because you want them to wake up and see how wonderful you are and how amazing you are. They don't even see how wonderful and amazing they are. They don't even love themselves. This is like I'm spitting hard truth here because my goal is to get my clients happy and healthy and to help my clients stop ruminating. And I do that, with tools like hypnotherapy. It's highly, highly effective, and also through coaching and also through attachment style work. But I want you to understand that the dismissive avoidant will say things like, you were so attentive to my needs and I couldn't reciprocate that. Like it was overwhelming to me how much you loved me. And to a healthy person, that person's with a healthy attachment style, that person's like, what? I was attentive and so you had to leave? Like it doesn't make any sense. But for that person, they are actually burdened. Their nervous system and attachment system get burdened. They get pinged when they feel overwhelmed. And overwhelm is time, energy, love, support, all of those things. They say they want peace. And what they mean by peace is basically let me do what I want when I want it, and I'll come to you when I want some attention or affection or love or sex. So they carry a lot of shame. I tend to find that the female DAs tend to carry a lot of guilt and the male DAs tend to carry a lot of shame. But as I've spoken with more and more clients, I'm also understanding that the female DAs can also carry a lot of shame, but it does show up in different ways. But typically, shame makes us move away from partnership and connection. And if you want to really do a deep dive, and I know you guys are so amazing and so intelligent, and you're all working on yourselves, you're incredible. Look into, and I just had a brain fart. Wow. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this in the video. I'm 45, and this is what happens to women in their 45s. That's not even a word. I had a brain fart. The shame researcher, Brene Brown. Hallelujah, thank you, God. The Brene Brown, the shame researcher. Look into her work on shame. It's profound. It will change your life. It will change your connections and your relationships and your understanding of people. The DA is like, they need time to thaw out. They need time to get in touch with their emotions. They will eventually feel the loss, even if they've replaced you. Again, that does not guarantee they're coming back. In fact, it's far from a guarantee. And also, I ask my clients, I understand that you want this person back. I understand that you want to spend some of our time together trying to figure out, what do I say to this person and how do I get this person to come back to me? But the truth is that the more you pour into them, the less you're pouring into yourself. The more you pour into yourself, the better off you're going to be, whether or not they ever come back. And if they do come back and breadcrumb you, is that what you really want? Because you deserve so much more. And honestly, at the core, the dismissive avoidant feels that they're unworthy of love. They do not feel like they deserve your love. They do not feel like they deserve to be happy. That is a deep core wound that you cannot fix, that you cannot change, that nobody can. And my, soon to be ex-husband would say things like, it's going to take me years or maybe a lifetime to heal. And I used to not think that was true. And then part of me says, well, depending on your level of resistance, it could. If you're going to pour yourself into healing, I don't think it could take years. I think it could take, however long it takes to become more secure and to change some of those patterns. I don't think it's easy work. I do not think it's easy work doing this attachment work for any of us, right? I'm healing disorganized, fearful, avoidant. This is not easy work for me to do, but I do it day in and day out. And I have to be that secure place for my clients. So that is my ammunition, is like, I want to be as secure as possible, not just for future relationships, but for all of my relationships right now. I'm like a mother to my oldest nephew. That's important that I'm secure for him. He's about to be 21. It's important that I'm secure for my other nephews. It's important that I'm secure for my friendships and for my family and for my parents who are aging. It's important that I'm secure for my clients so that I show up as that secure, safe place and that secure proxy, right? We heal inside of connection. we heal inside of relationship. So there's such a fear for the DA of being found out that they're defective. I can't even, that fear is so incredibly strong for the DA that they will hide from themselves. Like literally, guys, they will hide from themselves. And I'm just looking at my notes here, so forgive me. The DA doesn't know who they are. Like at their core, until they start doing the work, they don't know who they are. They tend to live superficially. So the DA can appear, again, narcissistic. They're not a narcissist. Okay, if they're self-aware and they have the ability to be self-aware, they're not a narcissist. Period. End of story. And remember, guys, this is coming from a woman who's been deeply hurt and deeply abandoned. The inner child, anyway, is abandoned. Let me correct that. Left. I've been discarded by a dismissive avoidant, and I can still sit here and say that. Okay. Let's not throw labels on other people just because they hurt us. We have to understand that we have the capacity to heal ourselves, and that our healing is nobody else's job but ours. And also understand that if you attracted this person into your life, your nervous system attracted this person, there is a reason for it. That does not mean that it's your fault. It does not mean it's the DA's fault that they're a dismissive avoidant. What it means is that what happened to us, what brought us to this point, is not our fault, but healing is 100% our responsibility moving forward. We have to be responsible and accountable for our healing. Otherwise, we're just going to literally shit on everything and everyone around us. We're going to hurt innocent people and bystanders. There is this desire for the DA to walk it alone. Like I've done videos on this recently, the lone wolf syndrome. I'm gonna heal alone. Unfortunately, often what that means is I just want to be unburdened. And whilst the DA might be going to therapy, is that therapist trauma informed? Is that therapist attachment theory informed? Or is that therapist just a talk therapist? What are they actually doing in that therapy? Okay. And I give you guys a lot of examples from my life because I want you to understand that I understand. My ex-husband is going to therapy. And I can also tell you that he's also starting to repeat the same cycle. And family members have said, he's just going to go down the same road. He's going to do it again. You know, he's going to think he found his soulmate. He's going to fall in love, and then it's going to fall apart all over again. So he's not really doing the work. What is he doing in therapy? I have no idea. But the fact that there's an unwillingness to actually process the trauma and pain of a divorce speaks volumes to me. And it should speak volumes to you, like as an example. And some of you are going through divorces. I don't know why people besides me aren't talking about divorces, like breakups. But why isn't anyone talking about divorcing a dismissive avoidant? They do get married. And you know, our relationship was fast-tracked, so that's probably why it ended in a marriage. I truly think that had I had more time to get to know him, that I would not have married him, not because I didn't love him, but because I would have seen some of these red flags and I would have demanded that they be addressed, and then that it probably would have fallen apart before it could even be cemented into a marriage. Okay, but there are dismissive avoidants who are in long-term relationships, and some of you have been discarded and blindsided just as heavily as somebody who dated a DA for 4 months. So it absolutely happens inside of a marriage, and it's that much more traumatic because you made a vow to this person, a lifelong vow. You know, maybe you got married in church, or you just, I don't know, you got married to this person. You made a vow of forever, and suddenly that vow is null and void. That is painful. That is a painful thing to process, and it is very painful to come to terms with. So let me know in the comments below, are any of you going through divorces, or maybe you're the DA and you initiated the divorce? Like, let me know. This is a safe space for everybody to share. And please, DAs, when you share, it helps all of us. It helps the community grow and evolve and learn and understand. We want to understand. The other thing that a dismissive avoidant will say is like, this is just me. I can't tell you how many times I heard that. This is just me. This is just where I'm at. Like, take it or leave it kind of attitude. And you're like, no, you know, relationships take compromise. Relationships take the ability to look inward. The dismissive avoidant, until they're healing or healed, they do not have the ability to look within and on a deep level. That's why you can't pinpoint what you're feeling, but you feel like something's missing inside of that relationship, but you don't know what it is. You're like, what is it? What is missing inside of that relationship? What's missing is the DA is not in touch with themselves. They're not in touch with their true identity. They're not in touch with their emotions. They're not in touch with their needs. So you're in essence dealing with sort of like the skeleton of a person. That individual is not feeling true joy, is not feeling true fulfillment, is not on purpose. They're not living on purpose. You cannot be. They probably have a lot of money in the bank and accolades and awards and achievements and all of those 3D things. But when it comes to their relationships, they fumble and they falter those relationships, and they can't really sustain a long-term relationship or marriage. So I think I'll close on that note. I've given you guys a lot in this video, so rewatch it if you need to, take notes, and really truly understand that there's nothing you can do to change the dismissive avoidance mind. And that likely if they've moved on, in some way, they're not as likely to look back. A fearful avoidant will look back, okay? Again, if they haven't done their work, don't get back with them. Coming from a healing fearful avoidant, don't do it, okay? There's a reason why I'm not dating right now. I want to be at a certain point for myself. I want to know myself so securely, so well, so in and out, that I know who I am showing up inside of a relationship. That's my responsibility to anybody that comes into my life. That is your responsibility. That's the dismissive avoidance responsibility. And if they just, God, it pisses me off to think of my ex just going out there and just doing this to somebody else and just getting involved with somebody else, having not done any of the work. It's like, didn't you learn anything from 3 marriages and divorces? I cannot for the life of me understand that pattern. And I'm kind of glad that I can't understand that pattern, but I just think that there's a lack of self-reflection. There's a lack of self-awareness. There's a lack of true emotional processing. And I'm also a yoga teacher. Some of you know that, some of you don't. Whatever. I teach yoga. I've been teaching it since 2013. And I will tell you that just doing yoga or just meditating is not enough to emotionally process. It's great and it's wonderful and it does wonders for people. You need to focus on breathing, right? Things that are going to heal your vagus nerve, things that are going to actually get you out of fight or flight, get you out of that dorsal response, dorsal vagal response, and get you, or fawn or freeze, or wherever you are in that sympathetic cycle, and get you into parasympathetic mode, rest and digest. You have to do more than that. You have to do more than read books. You have to go to therapy. You have to find somebody who specializes in attachment theory, do some attachment work. And by the way, the attachment work that I do is based on DARE, Dynamic Attachment Repatterning Experience. And it's designed to really, it's an experience. It's not just therapy. It's not just coaching or counseling. It's an experience to have so that you rewire and repattern those pathways. And I really feel like, and that's what hypnotherapy does too, by the way, rewires and repatterns the subconscious mind. So we're giving it different commands and different suggestions so that you show up differently for yourself and that you value yourself and that you put yourself first. This individual who discarded you and blindsided you doesn't have the capacity to hold space for themselves, much less you. You have to understand that at a very deep level. This individual walked away because it got too much. Because your demands for love and connection, their capacity was not there. Their attachment system literally was screaming at them. Abort mission, walk away, do whatever you can. And then when you try to, you want to talk about what happened, they're going to go, no, I don't want to talk about that. Just drop it. Sarah, just drop it. Like I was told that. I'm like, just drop it. It's a marriage. I'm not just going to drop it. But they don't want to be reminded of the pain. They don't want to be reminded of the pain they cause and the pain that they feel making this decision. It will hit them. It will hit them. They're a human being. When it hits them, I don't know. What kind of an effect it has, we don't really know. Does it matter? Not necessarily, because likely they're going to say, I hurt that person. I hurt that person so bad that I can't go back. I know I can't go back there. Too much damage was done. I heard those words from my ex-husband. So you cannot convince somebody of anything. And in fact, it's exhausting to try to do that. The best thing you can do is look forward and look ahead, put one foot in front of the other, and take the necessary steps to heal your nervous system and your attachment system so that you ping for a secure partner, so that you get excited when a person appears in your life and they're secure. That's what I want for all of you. Take care, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.